Okay, guys, so a disclaimer. I'm about to say some things about murder, dismemberment, all kinds of criminal activity. So maybe hop off if that's too much for you, because today's case is wild. We've got crime happening all across North America. And at the center of all of it is a wealthy Nepo baby. My favorite. Love a Nepo baby. Robert Durst. We've got the wife, Kathy. She goes missing. She's a dedicated medical student and just up and never shows to class, and no one's ever sees her again. Robert has no idea, where she went. He's just a grieving widower now. Years later, his very close best friend is shot execution style in the head in her home in Beverly Hills, across the globe. Wife was New York. This chick's Beverly Hills. He's devastated. He has no idea. And then in Texas, his neighbor, he ends up shot and dismembered. That one he does admit to, but he has a reason why that one happened. It's not as, black and white as it seems. A lot of gray area there. So, stay tuned to find out the ins and outs of this case to see how we got from here to here to here and who did what. Hi.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Two Peas in a Crime Pod.
Episode 41.
We had to check on that.
I did.
I know, it's getting to be a lot. It's hard to keep up.
It is. 41 episodes.
41. Is this your first time? Is this your 41st time? Where are you at? If you're coming back, we're so glad to have you back. We hope you're already a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber yet, fix that. Change that. Become a subscriber.
Absolutely. We got a cool comment from Kim. Did you see her comment this morning?
She said, love the rambling.
Yeah, because somebody commented, you're just going to ramble pointlessly. And she was like, I'm here for the rambling.
I'm here for the rambling.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you,
You're
Kim.
a ride or die.
Yes, you're the real one. Kim's the OG. Yeah, we got a few OGs out there. Oh, that's too funny, though. Yes, if you don't like the rambling, that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. We added a feature where you can skip ahead, and it's labeled and it says case, and you can just skip right to the point in time where we start talking about the case. If you're just into crime, if that's what gets you hard, it's just the crime. Are you one of those when you're watching porn, you just skip right ahead to the good stuff? You don't want to see the foreplay.
Oh, no.
That's what these people are. They're like, just give me the fucking crime.
Right. They don't care about our stuff.
I'm trying to get off quick.
Right.
I don't need this bullshit.
I'm driving to work. I want to hear crime stuff.
Yeah. Talk to me more about murder. I get it, though. I truly do. There are other podcasts where I'm like, shut the fuck up. Tell me the good stuff.
Right.
But then there are some, like Bailey Sarian, she could probably talk, I would probably listen to her talk about anything. She could probably talk about her toenails, and I'd be like, yeah, bitch, I'm here for it.
I think you're in love with Bailey.
I do. I love her. I do. I really do love her. I think she's wonderful. I love what she does. I think that she's genius and creative and mixing all my favorite things, and I love her opinion on things, and yeah, we're just like-minded. Sometimes I appreciate when I'm not like-minded with people. Like, I appreciate oh, they gave me a new perspective, But sometimes I love when I'm like, say a louder for the people in the back. So yeah, she's a real one.
That's good.
And I don't watch a lot of YouTube, for that, I don't watch a lot of YouTube because I'm busy all the time.
I know.
So I've really got to love it to invest my time.
Yeah.
So yeah, her and Curtis Connor. And then Maddie got me onto another one, and it was funny. We did LOL a couple of times, and I'm a piece of shit because I can't remember their names, but they were funny. I don't even want to hazard a guess. I'll think of it next time. I think I've seen him on like a commercial now and like maybe a TV show or something. Like he's becoming more popular, or maybe he's been popular and I'm out of the loop. I can't remember his goddamn name. I hate my brain. But him and this one girl, the girl he's had on her show, she does this thing where she dresses up and it's like the royal court and she dresses in like old attire and then she asks you questions, but like she's deciding if you could be on the court or not, but she asks like these ridiculous questions. Like it's funny.
Oh,
like
that sounds fun.
It's creative and funny.
I love it.
That one did make me laugh too.
Okay.
If it wasn't for Maddie, I never would have fucking seen this.
Okay.
So
you'll have to let me know.
These youngins.
I can't wait till Halloween this year because I am dressing up like a member of the court. I am dressing up as Marie Antoinette. I wanted to do it last year, but I didn't lose the weight.
You did. I remember you saying
they
that.
only go up to a size 18 in her outfit. So I will be that by this October.
Okay.
If the weight keeps coming off like it is. I lost another 8 pounds this last week.
I had a really good idea. What was it? Oh, I remember what it was. It was if I have problems with my hair and it continues to thin the way that it is, and if it's falling out.
Okay.
I'm going to like this is how I will know who's watching the podcast and who is not. This is how I'll know who's a real one or not. Because I'm going to tell all of you now what my plan is. So then if I do it, you subscribers, you viewers will be like, this is not shock to me. You said you were going to do this. But if you're totally surprised, oh, now I know you weren't watching because I told you. If I continue to lose my fucking hair the way that I am, I'm going to go full 2007 Britney and just shave my head and show up as crazy Britney with the shaved fucking head and a baseball bat. Or wait, no, it's not a bat. Is it an umbrella that she's trying to break the car windshield with when Britney Spears has her mental breakdown?
I never saw it.
I
saw her shave her head.
She shaves her head. She's all fucking insane. And then she's got like an umbrella and she's like beating paparazzi's windows with it. So
I never saw that part.
I'm just going to show up with my shade like that day, buzz my hair, get an umbrella, easiest costume I've ever done.
Okay.
And it'll be so fitting. So, chef's kiss. Now, if I don't lose my hair, I don't have a fucking costume idea yet. So.
Okay.
I gotta keep thinking on that. But I was planning ahead. This is how I was getting myself psyched up.
Oh my gosh.
I had to have like a costume idea.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I guess we'll all have to wait and see how October's looking hair, because it's pretty thin, but it's not gone yet.
All right.
It's not falling out any more than usual, I should say.
Okay.
I have all this like new growth of hair. I sprayed it down so it wouldn't stick up, but I have all these hairs that are like 2 inches tall, like right here, and I'm like, is that new hair or broken hair? I can't tell.
It's new hair.
I think it's new hair because my hair's way grown out. Like it would make sense if it was breaking off at like this 3-inch mark where the bleach is.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's breaking off. So I think it's new hair.
It sounds like it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Lord knows I could use some more hairs on my head.
So I was listening to my sleep movie.
Silence of the Lambs?
I think this one was The Shining.
That was my second guess.
Which, when my movie is done playing, I keep my phone under my pillow and I have it turned down way low so that it doesn't keep my husband awake. And I just listen to, like, if it's The Shining, I usually fall asleep halfway through his interview in the beginning because it's just that song, blah, 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 blah. And it's so mellow.
Have you tried classical music?
So, but anyways, I woke up and in the morning, and so if you're watching Prime, it just will play another movie, a random movie that you don't even have in your list.
Right.
I woke up and it was playing this movie and I was listening to it while I was making my coffee and stuff. I couldn't turn it off. It was hilarious.
What was the movie?
Get Him to the Greek.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen that?
Bits and pieces. It's got that guy who's been totally canceled now that was married to Katy Perry and Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill is great in it.
The rocker.
Yeah.
That he's like helping.
He was married to Katy Perry.
If they weren't married, they were dating.
Oh,
And
okay.
he has since been like canceled for like
Hmm.
oh, I don't want to misspeak. The thing that popped in my head was like underage girls
Oh, geez.
or something like that. I don't remember. I remember that it was something taboo enough that like cancel culture got him.
Okay.
And then he like turned his life to Christ and tried to
Oh.
like reinvent himself as like a I'm born again. God forgave me, so like I don't care about I don't give a fuck about y'all, dude. If God can forgive me, I think you can forgive me. We didn't forget. So, yeah.
Okay.
I
This
can't why
movie
can't I
was
think of his
hilarious.
name? I'd have to go through the
I don't
alphabet,
know
but
his name either.
the British accent. Yeah.
I just knew Jonah Hill, and he's so funny because he's hilarious also in that movie with DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street.
You liked The Wolf of Wall Street?
I didn't. You know, the first
I
scene,
turned it off.
the first scene is him snorting coke off of her crack of her,
Yeah.
you know, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I don't want to watch this. I forced myself to watch it because Christopher said, Mom, you have to get through that to the scene with the Quaaludes. And he was right. It is so worth the Quaalude scene. And
Okay.
Jonah Hill is absolutely hilarious. I mean, they're both hilarious, but Jonah Hill I just die laughing at him. He's so
Okay.
funny, but his character is so funny in this. But when he's high on the Quaaludes and he's talking to DiCaprio on the phone, and DiCaprio's also high on the Quaaludes, they like took like an amazing amount because they didn't think they were working, so they kept taking more.
Okay.
And then they kicked in,
And they're like,
and the phone's being tapped. And Jonah Hill is talking about their secret enterprise on the phone, and DiCaprio finds out about it, and he's at this hotel and he's trying to call him. He's like, yeah, 4 words. Get on the phone. And Jonah Hill's going, yeah, hilarious. It hit you, didn't it? And, you know, he can't understand him either. It's just hilarious. They're funny.
okay.
You got to watch it for the Quaalude scene. But the whole movie was actually really good. Yeah, it wouldn't be, I don't like crude stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I didn't like it, I cannot imagine you being able to stomach it.
I mean, they're like throwing midgets around. Did you see
No, I literally
turned
don't
it
think
off.
I think I only made it like 15 minutes in, maybe. And I
That's
was
about
like,
all I made.
this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
This is just
Yeah, no, it's
ridiculous for the sake of being ridiculous. But I know that it's like that's how rich people are.
It was a
I know
good
it's
movie.
not like I know. I just was like, I don't need to see it. I already know it exists. I don't need it rubbed in my fucking face.
okay.
Yeah, I don't all right, I'll have to give if mom says I never argue with you about a movie. I know better. So I'll have to give it a second try.
Okay. Yeah, it was good. But I love Jonah Hill. So.
Jonah Hill for me, it's always gonna be now that I go to say it, I can't. Super bad.
No, I never saw that.
Oh, love that movie.
Okay.
And he's so funny in that. All right, fuck me right now. I love that movie so much.
All right, I'll have to watch that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's now I'm just gonna be thinking about Super Bad. That's great. Michael Cera and him, and then that other kid that plays McLovin, and I can't think of his name. And McLovin's character is the one that like makes that movie. It's funny. It's a good one.
Another movie came on that I've seen it advertised. It's got people in it that I like, but I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna like this just by looking at the picture of the cover
Okay.
of the movie, you know, like the thumbprint,
Yeah.
that whatever they call that.
Thumbnail. Yeah.
The thumbnail.
What was the
Marie Antoinette has Kirsten Dunst.
I do love Kirsten.
And
Oh
then
wait, is this really old?
It's older.
Didn't I feel like I had to watch that in 7th grade history class?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that we had to watch that.
And it has that little guy in it.
Because I was in Miss Clokey's.
The one that she was married to.
I can remember my 7th grade history teacher's name. So there's that. The one she was married to.
In the movie.
Oh.
He was in another movie that I saw that I really liked. Can't think of his name. But anyways.
Marie and
it's a good movie.
2006. No, it couldn't have been that movie then. Because 2006 was, I would have been 15. And 7th grade was before that. So I don't know what I'm thinking of. Oh, I do know what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Joan of Arc.
Oh, yeah.
We watched a movie about Joan of Arc.
Okay.
Yeah, we watched a lot of movies that year. It was a great year for movies for education.
Anyways, I highly recommend Marie Antoinette. It's a good
It
movie.
was very good.
It's
Okay.
interesting.
Would you like to tell me what today's case is about?
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh,
You
she's
have
already
to have
excited.
heard about this.
She's probably about to tell me something fucking
So
dumb like Dahmer. Like she was like, I don't know, you probably heard of it. Maybe not, I don't know. We'll see. And then it was a 2-hour episode because it was Dahmer.
you'll have lots to say if you've heard of this, and I don't know how you can't have heard of this. It's always fun when you know the case because you always add so much. Like, I think we ought to start just having a few cases where you know what's going to go on.
Every once
Because,
it is fun when I'm like, oh,
yeah, because you have
Yes.
so much to say. But, okay.
yeah, it's amazing what happened when I've previously formed a thought and I can think instead of like in real time. I'm like,
Okay, the case is about the Jinx.
Jinx.
Did you watch the Jinx? The HBO special on Prime or Netflix? Robert Durst. The disappearance of his wife, Kathleen. All Good Things. Ryan Gosling, Kirsten Dunst. The movie All Good Things came out in 2010.
Not a fucking thing.
You
you're
don't know
saying.
anything about any of this? Oh my God, you're going to love it. This
The
is a
Jinx?
great case. So,
Jinx. No, that's not.
yeah, the Jinx, they did a documentary. I think it was 2015. All right, so in 2010, this movie comes out called All Good Things. And it's got Ryan Gosling, who's
Okay.
amazing. He plays Robert Durst.
Okay.
And then it's got
Love him.
Kirsten Dunst.
Gorgeous.
She plays
Love her.
his wife, who goes missing. This movie is incredible. And it's got, what's that guy's name? Langiola.
Well, now I feel like you've been holding out on me for like over a fucking decade. What the
It
hell?
has been. I have been, apparently. I'm not doing my job. You're just too busy for movies.
That's what it is.
Okay, what's that guy's name? Something Langiola. Older guy, older actor. He is excellent.
Okay.
I can't remember what his name is. But anyways, all right, let's get into it.
Okay.
This movie comes out.
I am excited now that I have like a movie. I love when you're done and I'm like, oh, now I get to go watch the movie about
Yeah,
it. I
you
do
got to
like
watch
that,
the
so.
movie. And when I saw the movie, I was like, wow. And then I found out it was based on a true story. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. This guy's running around free. And I Googled him, and yeah, he was living down like south somewhere. And
In
I
a
was like-
van down by the river.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. What's that a reference to?
See, the things I know that you should know and vice versa is wild. That's a Chris Farley reference from like 90s SNL.
Okay, yeah, no.
Which
I
was-
never watched SNL.
Well, I was like 7.
Oh, geez.
So I don't.
You must have been watching it with your dad.
No, I think it's just one of those things where because I love Chris Farley like later in life that I go back and like watch it. Well, because unfortunately
Okay, that makes sense.
he passed away, and so
Right.
we don't get more of his
You got to go back.
joy. All you just have reruns, you know. So
Okay.
you know, go back the best of Chris Farley and see. Yeah, he's this guy who's giving like trying to like scare teens straight, basically, and he's like, "You're gonna
Oh.
end up living in a van down by the river," and like everybody in the scene is like David Spade is like trying not to break, like, oh,
Those are great.
so yeah.
Okay. All
It's a
right.
good
Well,
one. But anyways,
so
I
then
digress.
this HBO documentary comes out in 2015, which I never watched. I think it was 2015. It might have been later than that. But anyways, I never watched it. I did not know. It was called The Jinx. And it had the guy's name, and I didn't put it together. Here, it's about the same. It's like a documentary with
So
him.
one is a dramatized
they're-
movie, and one is a
They're interviewing him. So they're doing this interview, and he's talking about his experiences. And oh, just wait till we get into it. All right.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about the victim. Her name was Kathleen McCormick Durst, and she went by Kathy.
Okay.
All right. She was born June 15th of 1952.
Okay.
So we're talking like Chris's age. And she was 29 at the time of her disappearance.
Okay.
She was a fourth year medical student at the time with just a couple weeks left to graduate.
Wow.
And she's always described by family as very intelligent, driven, and independent.
So 52, 30 years is 82, minus 1 at 29 is 81.
Yes.
So she's a med student, late 70s into early 80s. Okay.
So she married Robert Durst in April of 1973, and she was 21 and he was 29. The marriage lasted from 1973 until her disappearance. Her disappearance was in 1982.
Okay. In her fourth year of med school.
Yes.
Okay.
And they had no children together. Friends later would testify that the relationship did become volatile. Um, Multiple acquaintances said that Kathy spoke about getting a divorce in the year before she was vanished. She started talking about wanting to get a divorce.
Okay.
There's okay, in the movie, she gets pregnant and he does not want a baby. So he begs her to abort it. When I did the research, I couldn't find any definite thing that said she had an abortion. When they testified in court, the prosecutor called it a miscarriage. So,
Okay.
but the thing is that happened the year before her disappearance. And that's also around the time that she was talking about getting a divorce and kind of really seeing him for who he was. He had been being allegedly abusive. Friends saw bruises. She would show
Okay.
them bruises. And, he was just controlling. He didn't like her family. He came from once we start talking about him, he comes from a very wealthy, well established New York family where his father owned tons of real estate all over
Okay.
the boroughs of New York. And we're talking skyscrapers. And,
Okay.
he didn't have to work because he lived off of his family's inheritance. They just gave him money every month to survive.
Okay.
And
And here she's like going to med school and wanting to.
she was a dental hygienist when they met. And her family is just like you and us. You just live paycheck to paycheck. And he saw himself as above that. Like he didn't understand how to be incorporated in these people's.
Okay.
He couldn't understand their way, and he felt like they couldn't understand his way.
Okay.
So he was very controlling with her, and like they would go over to visit and she would just be like, it's 2 hours. And he would be like, I don't want to do it. I'm going to go wait in the car. Or he would just be like, it's time to go,
Yeah.
and rude. So anyways, um, Robert Durst, after her disappearance, he denied having anything to do with that or even of like killing her or anything.
Okay.
So basically, early in their marriage, and this would be like the mid 70s, so they were married in 73, they moved to Vermont and they lived in this town called Middlebury. And they purchased a renovated health food store building.
Okay.
Um, they were described as somewhat countercultural. They interacted with the local small town community, and friends described Robert as eccentric and socially awkward,
Okay.
which he was. So the health food store was called All Good Things, which is what they named that movie.
Okay.
And it opened in the mid 70s. It specialized in natural and organic foods, which was a emerging health food movement in the 70s.
Oh, that makes sense.
But unfortunately, all right, well, Robert, he helped renovate the building and then Kathy worked at the store, but it didn't succeed financially. It didn't matter because they were living off of his
So it was like
trust.
something they could try.
Yeah, it was just something they could try. They could have stayed there and just continued living this kind of a good life of no New York pressure,
Right.
you know, living in this cute town in Vermont with their own store, and it didn't have to succeed. Give it a few more years, maybe find something else to sell, or, they could have
Right.
stayed, but they didn't. They moved back to New York, and Robert started working more with the family business. It was part time, but it was more than he had been involved. He didn't want to be involved at all. I'll get into it. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
All right. So they relocated to South Salem, New York. And they had it was a cottage on a large property that had a lake. Very nice. Kathy then enrolled in medical school at Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and that was in the Bronx. So they also had an apartment in Manhattan that she could stay in while she was going to school, and then she would come to the cottage on the
It's funny
weekends.
because some of the things you're saying do sound familiar to me, but not the names, not the name of the movie, not the name of the documentary, but some of the things I'm like, I feel like I've heard this. It's just odd. I don't know. Maybe it just mirrors another case that I'm more familiar with, but I don't know why, but I'm just like,
It's ringing a
okay.
bell.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So Robert was still financially supported by the family wealth, but becoming more involved with the business. However, his relationship with his father was still strained. So basically, Robert Durst was the eldest son of the New York real estate developer Seymour Durst.
Okay. Seymour Durst.
Seymour. The Durst family owned the Durst Organization, which was a major Manhattan real estate firm.
Listen, if it's not Fred Durst, I don't really give a fuck. I gotta be honest.
Who is Fred
Limp
Durst?
Bizkit till I die.
Okay.
The lead singer of Limp Bizkit. He did it all for the Nookie Mom.
Oh,
Anyways,
yeah.
every time you say Durst, that's all I just keep waiting
Oh, okay.
for you to say and it was the grandfather of Fred Durst.
Okay. No.
Nope.
Sorry. Anyways, Dad was a little disappointed that Robert didn't take a central leadership role in the family company. Basically, he's a little disappointed in Robert because Robert didn't really have a role in anything. He didn't work. He just kind of loafed. And he was awkward. He had some mental problems, and we'll get into that.
He's just kind of no, he's like, why would I work? I have a trust fund. It was very Gen Z of him, way before his time.
All right, let's go ahead and get into why Robert is the way he is.
Okay.
I forgot to research this actually because it was just in my head. So I'm not sure of his age, but when he was a little boy, and we're talking at least approximately 5 years old,
Okay.
might have been before, might have been a little after. Um, Dad comes and gets him and says, "Hey, go stand in front of the window." And he does, and he sees his mother standing on the roof of their mansion. And next thing you know, Mom jumps off the roof. So he's just a little boy, and he sees this, and that's that. No more Mom. And he was very close with his mother. So, of course, years later, he's like, "Why are you so disappointed in me? You know why I am the way I am. Why did you make me watch that?" And he was like, the dad was like, "I thought she wouldn't jump if she saw you." So
the mom was on the roof, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. And the dad was like, oh, okay, sure you are. And thought that he would call her bluff, and she wasn't bluffing.
right. So
or so the dad says.
So he witnessed that as a little boy.
Regardless of why.
And then never had his father didn't give him any extra attention after that.
But you said he was the oldest, so did she
There was
there
another,
already
there was a
younger
younger
sons?
brother.
Oh, okay.
Younger brother. Yeah. So,
I mean, yeah, that's enough to.
dad never took him to counseling, never acknowledged it. Just, okay, she's gone now. And then he still worked his ass off at his business and wasn't around. And
Yeah, life just kept going for him.
this kid just is left with this at
I mean,
that
that was
age.
way before counseling,
Oh, for
and
sure.
especially for boys, but for anybody really. That was
But I mean, they were a wealthy family.
the mid to
Wealthy
late
families
50s.
did have counseling.
Yeah, but it was still mental health for males has always been shit. That's why things are the way they are.
Okay. Well, that's
But
why he is the way he is.
um yeah, I mean, that would absolutely.
That's why he probably doesn't want much to do with his father and his father's business. And
Yeah, I'm sure there's resentment there and weirdness and anger and yeah, I'm sure. Also, forgive me for yawning. I didn't sleep last night. Sometimes I don't sleep. So that's why I'm wearing my Christmas pajamas today in late February. And I have no makeup on my face. So sorry I'm yawning. I'm doing murder, murder, murder. Stay awake. I'm okay. I'm really fine, but
she's doing the best she can,
yeah.
folks. That's all right. We'll take it. All right. So the two of them, where they lived in Westchester County, their social circle included their acquaintances from New York. Kathy maintained friendships that were separate from Robert, and friends testified that she did confide in them about marital problems. The public persona was that name came with influence in New York. It was the status that later became a topic of scrutiny in discussions about how the police handled Kathy's disappearance. And I talked to you about this before, where I think certain police, when we were doing the Jean Bonnet case,
Yes.
I feel like they can
They
be intimidated by wealthy people.
You did. You said you felt like they fumbled the investigation because they were just more willing to let
Wealthy people
the
lead,
the family take
call the
lead
shots. Yeah.
because, they're well to do and
They don't want to step on their toes.
that's just in like normal society, let alone people with like way more money that like I don't know, maybe they are the ones who donated to that police chief's fund or something, like buying the police, like mob shit, which I don't know. I don't know this case to know that, but that shit happens though. The more money you have, the more pull you have for sure. And it absolutely like does cloud the judgment. Or
Yeah.
not even cloud the judgment. Sometimes I think the cops know damn well what happened, but it's like, let's not ruffle the feathers. Like, she's
Okay.
gone. What are you going to do? Like,
Okay. That's one way to look at it. So, okay. Kathy was last seen alive on January 31st of 1982.
Okay.
She had attended a small dinner gathering in Newtown, Connecticut. And then she returned to their South Salem home on the cottage
Okay.
that evening. According to Robert Durst's original statement, he drove her to Katona train station so she could return to Manhattan for medical school. But Kathy never arrived at class the next morning, and there's no confirmed sighting of her having ever been in Manhattan or any verified sighting of her after that night. There was a sighting of her in Manhattan, but we don't know for sure that it was her. So apparently the building where she lived in Manhattan, the apartment building, the desk guy said that he saw her that morning. It is, I can't think of the word, but
Snaky.
I was going to say suppositioned, but that's not the word. It's theorized that one of Durst's friends dressed up like her and put a blonde wig on like her and put her coat on with the big hood that covers most of her face, big, Jackie O
Yeah.
dark glasses, and just got in the elevator and went up to the apartment to make it
Okay.
seem like she was there in Manhattan. Does that, do you catching
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. It was just enough for the doorman to like make a positive ID, but
He didn't really catch a glimpse. He didn't really see her.
that seems so scammy for 82, but I'm sure that shit like that happened. I'm sure they were smart enough to know like a wig would fool somebody, but I don't know. I think it's just as easy that you like say like, "Hey, here's enough money to pay off your house. You saw my wife this morning."
Oh,
And they're like, "Yes, you're damn right I did." Cha-ching. It's just easy to buy people. You know what I mean? Especially back then, because money wasn't as easily traceable as it. Like, it's harder to do that now. But
right.
unless you're fucking trading gold, like, or precious diamonds, like I learned about in the diamond heist case that we did. I had no idea that diamonds were so.
Fluid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he gave him some precious diamonds, the heart of the ocean. That's what I kept going to in my head.
Well, he did give his friend lots of money. So that's why they theorized that
that's who the. Well, so I was
you were close.
I was kind of right. Yeah.
So, okay, there were some red flags early on in the investigation. One was that Robert did not report her missing immediately. She missed her medical school classes with no explanation. There was a call that came in saying, "I'm sick, I won't be in class today." Can't be verified as having been her. Again, we're thinking it was the friend.
Okay.
So her close friend
So
said,
we're trying to establish a timeline that's so far away from when she might have actually gone missing.
right, the 31st is the last verified sighting of her.
Yeah. And so he's trying to distance it like, dude, she made it all the way to Manhattan into the apartment building. She got sick and called off school, apparently. I don't know what the fuck. Go to Manhattan and figure it out.
Yeah, I'm out here. I'm way over here in South Salem in the cottage.
Yeah. Okay.
So her very close friend said it was highly unusual for her to disappear without contacting anybody. Because she was so close to graduating, she would not have missed her clinicals. And, she wouldn't have called off even if she wasn't feeling good. And then another red flag was that some of her belongings, including personal items, were left at the cottage. So if she was just going to take off on her own,
right,
why did she leave some personal items that she left?
Or if she made it all the way to Manhattan and then took off or was murdered, whatever, why is her shit at the like, you would take your shit with you because it would be inconspicuous. Yes, honey, I'm going to school. And then you get into Manhattan and you're like, oh, I'm bouncing the fuck out.
Right.
Like, you take your stuff, though.
Yes.
Yeah, it's odd. Yes.
So the initial police response, Kathy was officially reported missing several days after she was last seen. And the police initially investigated the case as a missing persons matter, not homicide, which means there wasn't a big investigation. She's a grown woman. She's
any
29.
Evidence of anything, it is now
gone,
getting ruined, getting tampered with, getting destroyed, yeah.
Authorities relied heavily on what Durst said happened. There was no body, there was no crime scene, and limited forensic evidence at the time for anything to investigate. However, Kathy's family maintained from the beginning that she would never voluntarily just disappear. She was very looking forward to graduating. She was talking about getting a divorce. She wanted to graduate so that she could support herself.
Yeah, she was making a plan. You don't go into medical school because you're you have no plan.
So they pushed investigators to consider foul play. But with no body recovered and limited forensic capabilities, the case stalled. Kathy then, in 2017, was eventually declared legally dead. And for decades, Robert Durst remained publicly suspected but
Wait,
never
and what year
charged.
was she
2017.
that far after?
Yep,
Christ.
I know. 82 to 17.
With no activity on the social security number and
Usually it takes 7 years. Like she should have been declared legally dead in 89.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
But
know that there's
somebody
an amount
has
of
to
years.
push for it to be declared legally dead. Usually that's what a spouse would do so they could collect insurance.
Yes. And then you look to see who's pushing for what. Like, is it him pushing so that he can collect insurance, or is it the family pushing because if she's dead, they can say, was it murder? You know what I mean? Like, it can refresh a case. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
so yeah, it's a long time.
Let's talk about the friend. Susan Berman was her name. She was a longtime friend of Robert's. She was born July 18th in 1945. She was a journalist and an author, and also the daughter of Las Vegas mob figure David Berman. She actually wrote a memoir called Easy Street that was about growing up in a crime-connected family, and she lived in Los Angeles at the time of her death. So the two met in 1960s in California. They remained close friends for decades, and Berman acted as a public spokesperson for Durst after Kathy disappeared in 1982. So
Okay.
basically, Robert's just like, I don't want to deal with the press. He just his socially awkward self
Right.
asks her to handle press.
Okay.
She told media outlets at the time that Kathy had likely left voluntarily. And those statements made prosecutors
That's it.
argue that she was just saying that to protect Durst.
Let's call them prosecutors.
Prosecutors?
Like little critters.
Oh, blah, blah.
Little critter, this is my prosecutor.
Anyways, on December 23rd of 2000, in the Benedict Canyon area of Los Angeles, Berman was found shot, execution style, in the back of the head inside her home. No signs of forced entry, and the killing actually occurred shortly before the New York authorities were preparing to re-examine Kathy McCormick's disappearance.
I'm sure that's only a coincidence and it means nothing.
Right. So meanwhile, Robert Durst, in 2000 and 2001, he was living in Galveston, Texas, under the alias Dorothy Signer. So he disguised himself as a mute woman, wore dresses, and called himself Dorothy Signer and said he was a mute. So he carried a little pocket thing
Like a
to
notebook?
write, "I'm mute." So people tried to talk to him. He just basically didn't want anybody to talk to him, anybody to know who he was.
Well, don't you think?
He did wear a wig sometimes. I'm
Okay.
sorry. So he did wear a wig sometimes.
Okay. So he was like, you know what'll really fool them? If I just assume a woman's identity.
Right.
The Adam's apple
Right.
will not be a giveaway. Nobody will know. Nobody will question it. And they probably didn't, honestly.
So he rented an apartment next to a man named Morris Black. Morris Black was 71 years old, and the apartment was a modest waterfront apartment complex. So,
Okay, wait a second. He moved to Texas.
yes,
For why?
to get away from New York, to get away from the speculation, to get away from the memories of Kathy.
Okay.
He didn't want to be known. He didn't want anybody to know who he was.
Okay. Okay.
In 2001, on September 28th, Morris Black was shot in the head inside Morris's apartment. His body was dismembered.
September what? 28th?
28th
That was just after 9/11.
of 2001. It was just after 9/11.
This guy just didn't give a fuck about a terrorist attack. He had his own agenda.
The body parts were placed in garbage bags. The bags were dumped into Galveston Bay, and Durst admitted to dismembering the body.
To who?
The police.
When?
All right, we'll get into it.
Okay.
So basically, the parts were discovered floating in the bay. The head was never discovered, but Durst fled Texas then. He was arrested in Pennsylvania. They were looking for him. He was the neighbor. The blood trail led to his apartment. They were investigating him.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I thought you knew this case because you'd had so much to say.
There's a fucking blood trail all the way to Pennsylvania.
Yes. He's in Pennsylvania and he's got 30 grand in cash on him, but he shoplifted a deli sandwich from a store.
Okay.
And they arrested him and they had him. And
I gotta tell you, ever since my first inkling that there was something familiar about this, not a fucking thing you said has clicked.
Okay.
So it was something else was a similarity, but then
okay.
Nothing.
So they have a warrant for him. He's arrested for shoplifting.
They have a warrant for stealing the sandwich.
No, for the murder of Morris.
Baloney thief.
He's
Baloney
got 30
thievery.
He's got 30 grand on him.
They were tired of his baloney.
And he steals a sandwich. Now, why do you think he would do that? This guy wants to get caught. I think he just felt guilty. He just tired of running, wants to get caught.
I don't know.
Why would you shoplift? You got 30 grand in your pocket. Why? Why would you shoplift?
This is a great question. Why would you dismember your fucking neighbor?
Well, he had a reason for that.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Were the bill did he think it was gonna be was that like for emergencies only? I don't know. What did he was like, oh, I'm jonesing for a kill. But since I don't have anybody to kill right now, I'll just steal a sandwich to get high. You know? I don't know. Okay. So he steals a sandwich.
So, okay, they arrest him. They take him back to Texas. And he says, I did dismember Morris's body, but the shooting was an accident. No, I didn't write it down.
She just did like a Matrix download. Did you guys see that? She went she was like, okay, got it. Like, just fucking downloaded the story into her brain. She was like, hold on, let me plug in. I know Kung Fu.
He said the shooting was accidental during a struggle over the gun. He said Morris was threatening him with the gun. And he never went into great detail about why. The movie kind of goes into more detail.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were playing Russian roulette. Someone's got to lose. It's not my fault.
He said the gun went off accidentally. And then after he shot him, he panicked. So he just had to get rid of this body. And the only way was to dismember him and put him in these bags. And he thought the bags would sink.
I feel like we hear this a lot. Like, has that ever worked? Has anyone ever gotten a lighter sentence because they were like, well, it was an accident. And, when you're in a frenzy and you don't know what to do, you just okay, yeah, obviously you have to cut the person into pieces with a saw. Blood everywhere. Entrails. Ew. Like, what has that,
I know.
I feel like we've said this before where they were like,
just thinking about it just gives me chills up the back of my neck.
I had to get rid of them. What do you do? Call the fucking cop. If it was an accident, you call the fucking cops.
Right.
A gun fucking went off. Dude was coming at me and we were struggling and it went off. Unless you're living under an assumed identity as a woman, but you're actually a man. Maybe that's what you're worried about. Maybe that's why you're panicked and like quick to be like, yeah, no, I think I could stomach this. And who the fuck is so dumb to know that you tie a knot in a bag and air's trapped in it, it's gonna float? Who doesn't know how density in air works in water?
This guy is not very smart.
You gotta put bricks in the bag, homeboy. Didn't you never watch Dexter? Come
But
on.
he's just listen. Let me go on. Yeah, no, he didn't put any bricks in. The bags floated. They were all discovered.
Shit.
Okay. He testified on his own behalf in the defense.
Oh, that's always smart.
So on November 11th of 2003, Durst was found not guilty of murder. The jury accepted reasonable doubt regarding the intent, and Durst was only convicted of tampering with evidence, and the sentence was time served.
Tampering with evidence?
Yeah.
Not like cruelty to a corpse or...
tampering with evidence. This guy is very convincing, and like I said, I feel like it's his status that has people, even the jury, just feeling like they don't want to convict him for whatever reason. Can you believe this? So
No.
far, it's all astounding. Like, really? He's not guilty.
All I can think of is to me, this sounds as dumb. And I guess it wasn't, because dude just got off, right?
Yes.
Not guilty. To me, it sounds as dumb as the movie Mean Girls, when one of the plastics is Gretchen Wieners, who is really rich and popular because her dad invented toaster strudel. And when the principal is trying to yell at her about this bullying problem, she was like, and I don't think my father, the inventor of toaster strudels, would be too happy to hear about this conversation. And that's like a flex. Like, oh, fuck, we don't want to piss off that guy. He's the money. This sounds as dumb as that to me. Like,
yeah. He gets on, he explains his weirdness as everything is all because of his mother and what happened, and he saw it, and he, the jury is sympathetic. That's why he's, his wife goes missing, and he just wants to disappear, and he's just trying to pretend to be a mute woman. And then this guy.
Did the jury hear about that?
Yes.
And that didn't weird them out at that point in time of history?
It was all because of his mother, is why he's weird. They felt sorry for him.
The movie Psycho was like well-established film by then. Like, what? Fucking Norman Bates-esque bullshit. No one, you've got to be fucking me. Okay. You're not fucking me.
No.
She's not fucking me, guys. I don't get this.
So he didn't even do time. It was just time served. And then, so that was in 2003. Now he's just living his life. And then in 2010, the movie All Good Things comes out. So 7 years later, they do the Ryan Gosling, Kirsten Dunst movie. And everybody thinks this guy killed his wife. This guy killed his best friend.
He said, I'm going back to Texas with my dresses. I hate it here. I don't think my father, the inventor of skyscrapers, would be really happy with how you portrayed me in that movie. And my mom killed herself, okay?
Yeah, that you've got it down.
I'm the only person who's ever experienced suicide in the family before. Violence for me. A grown-ass man in a dress, which normally I wouldn't give a fuck about. Normally I would not be like poking fun at a man in a dress, but like this guy wasn't feeling himself. This guy wasn't.
He was just wearing a disguise.
Yeah, he was just being a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
Like, in mute too? Like, what? Can I do that? Wait a second. Can I with the Notebook? And people try to talk. I'm just thinking right now, like, oh my God, I could
This
get
is
out
genius.
of so many fucking conversations I don't want to be a part of. Mute. I'm carrying Notebook in my bag. No, I don't even need it. It's 2020, 2026. I'll just use my fucking pen on my phone. I'll be like, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Genius.
I'm just gonna write shh. I don't even really have to pretend to be mute. I can just write down, be quiet, and they'll be so like, the fuck? They'll just walk away. I think this is a good plan. I already dress like a boy, so I have like the cross-dressing thing half down.
There you go.
I've been fully committed to that for years, though.
All right. So that was 2010. All Good Things came out. And then it was 2015.
What re-sparked the interest in making that movie in 2010?
You know, I didn't look into it, so I don't know.
I'm guessing maybe the hearing and like the weirdness that came out. Like
I know that
had
the
to get
family.
somebody.
I know the family always suspected him and never stopped pushing the police because they were, like I said, in 2000 they were getting ready. Was it the mayor or it was a woman, the prosecutor?
Okay.
She's the one that looks into. I'm not
Yeah.
sure who it was, but somebody big in New York decided to reopen this case and
There was like a
revamp it.
regime change, an election change, somebody new's in, and they are like, I'm touching cold cases, and this one's a priority.
And then Susan was killed, and Morris was killed. So probably somebody that's, you know, got money to make a movie that's involved decided to make this movie so that he doesn't get away with it. Even if he gets away with it, at least the whole world
look at him
will...
killing all the witnesses.
Right. So, okay. Then in 2015, HBO aired The Jinx, The Life and Deaths of Robert Durst, is what it was titled. So in the finale, Durst is like, I got to go use the bathroom. And they're like, okay. So
does he come out as a woman? Does he come out? What was his lady name? Dorothy.
Sinus.
Dorothy something. He comes out like in Mrs. Doubtfire, where he back to the table and the full fucking get up.
No. So he goes to the bathroom and he's talking to himself. He doesn't realize that
his mic's hot.
His mic is hot.
Oh, rookie mistake, Trump.
And this is what he said. He said a lot of things, but this was the main thing that he said. What the hell did I do? Killed them all, of course.
What a weird thing to say. I'm sure it meant nothing.
So Durst later argued that the statements were taken out of context. And technically, he was talking to himself. It could have been...
Maybe he stepped on some ants.
It's not like he was making a confession. But he was arrested in March of 2015 in New Orleans on a warrant for Susan Berman's murder.
Ah, the execution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's more. Okay, so the trial didn't happen until 2021 in Los Angeles County. So it's like 6 years after he's arrested.
Was he incarcerated that whole time, or was he?
I don't know. Oh, okay. It began in 2020 in March, but then COVID happened. So they paused it.
Okay.
And then it resumed in 21.
Okay.
So the charge was first-degree murder of Susan Berman. And the prosecution's theory was that Durst killed Berman to silence her. She allegedly knew details about Kathy McCormick's disappearance and the murder was premeditated witness elimination.
Yes.
So there was evidence presented, and one of the key evidence pieces was the cadaver note and handwriting comparison. So the cadaver note was an anonymous letter mailed to Beverly Hills police. That's where she lived at the time, was in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
The anonymous handwritten note read Beverly Hills Police, and they spelled Beverly wrong. So normally it's L-Y at the end. They spelled it L-E-Y.
That's how I would spell it.
Beverly with the L-E-Y. So that's all it said. Just basically.
So like that was her idea of a suicide note. Like I'm gonna send the police this nice little postcard, alerting them to a cadaver at this address because I'm about to cadaver myself. Gunshot to the back of the head. Like
Right. No, I don't even think that he was thinking that. It just, okay.
because otherwise, why the fuck wouldn't you just shoot her and then like
Never.
someone finds her, they find her.
Right.
Or she goes, someone calls in a missing persons eventually because she missed something.
Well, to address that, what they said is it's because he cared about her. They were friends. He couldn't bear the thought of her just laying there rotting. He wanted the police to know to go to the house. There's a cadaver there and get her. That's what they theorized.
Okay.
But the key points were
I feel like that's a dumb theory, but
it directed police to her house. The word cadaver was written at the bottom, and Beverly was misspelled as L-E-Y. And it was printed in these block letters. Why it became critical was investigators obtained a separate handwritten letter to Berman sent to her in 1999. Both envelopes misspelled Beverly as Beverly with an L-E-Y. They both used similar block letter handwriting, and they contained similar formatting and spacing. So handwriting experts actually testified that the two envelopes were written by the same person. Then in the trial, Durst admitted under oath that he wrote the cadaver note. He claimed panic and fear led him to send it, but he denied killing Berman. So
I went to visit my friend. She's dead, shot in the head. It's awful. Instead of calling the police.
Again, he's
Because
always
he
a
was
victim.
He's like, oh, they're going to think it was me again. Oh.
Right.
They always think it's me. Marsha.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
Robert. And he's like, okay, well, how do I let him know anonymously? Okay. No. Just no.
Well, the prosecution, of course, argued that only the killer would have known Berman was dead inside the house. But I say he could have known if he went to visit her.
Yeah, what I said would work. Like, if
Right.
he goes to visit her and he's like, oh my God, but like, I can't fucking call the police and be the last because like I was the last to see my wife and then we see how that fucking went. Like, to play devil's advocate, I could see him being like, my fucking neighbor died, my fucking wife died. Like, nope, can't.
Well, the neighbor died after her.
Okay.
But his wife was, my mom
right.
did this, and then my wife's missing.
Yeah, I just
don't want to be involved with anything else, is what he's trying to frame it as.
Yeah, that's just odd. And
however,
like, how weird is it to feel like to say cadaver? Like, what a weird choice of word.
Yeah, he's just a weird choice of guy.
I guess. I don't know, guess what I would have said. Dead body. I just would have been like, corpse. Cadaver. But you can't spell Beverly. And I would have spelled Beverly wrong, which is why I would have wrote dead body. Because I would have been able to nail all of that. I don't know. Like, all of this is weird. Okay, so he hired her to be a spokesperson, and then I'm guessing over the years it came out, or she caught on, or a clue was found, or something, and he thought like, it's fine. She hasn't ratted me out. She's not going to rat me out. But then when he heard that new mayor or whoever, the district attorney or whatever, saying like, we're going to reinvestigate this case and we're going to be touching base with everybody. And then he's thinking like, fuck, like she's soft. Like this isn't going to work. He's thinking like, I have to get rid of this loose end.
I mean, yeah. But basically, okay, so he'd been giving her like $2,500 every month for years, and also some lump sum amounts sporadically.
And did she continue? Was she just the spokesperson until he like assumed this fucking Dorothy identity, and then she was just on payroll, but for no real reason? Because
Yeah, because she lived in California, he lived in Texas. They weren't even in New York anymore.
so was he just so paranoid that he was like, I can't even deal with the thought of her betraying me after I paid her to stay silent this whole time? Or did she say something that like let him know like you can't buy my fucking silence?
We have no way of knowing, but we do know this. She was financially struggling at the time that she was murdered. The movie shows it, they depict it as she's calling him and he's ignoring her. She's saying, I need some money. He's ignoring her. She's saying, listen, they're on me. They're asking me questions. I need some money.
She tries to blackmail him.
Mm-hmm. And that's what led to him to murder her. That's what the movie is alleging.
Well, then we throw out the whole
There's no way to know.
They were friends and he felt bad angle.
Like we were saying, is we also think that she helped make the call the day after to the school to call herself off, and that
she was the one. Like we think that she's the one that's been involved for that.
Yes,
long. Okay.
She's the friend that did that, and she's the one who dressed up like her to be seen going into the apartment. So she knows a lot that could get him in big trouble.
And that would be the kind of person who would be like, I don't know, I'm feeling pretty chatty. I bet counting money would help me to feel not so chatty.
Yeah, I mean, her dad's a mob guy.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well.
The amount of money that he had given her amounted to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's pretty, what do they call that? When it's like evidence, it's like evidence, it's evidence of something. You know, why are you giving her this much money? You're paying her off.
Yes.
You're paying for silence.
Speculative. It's like.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So then the other things that they had, the prosecutors had the evidence of prior violent conduct was limited but allowed based on what people said about his wife showing them bruises, and then they were
allowed to introduce a little bit of like, this guy's known to be violent.
Yes. And then the HBO audio recording. Again.
I can't believe they let that in.
I know, right? Again, Durst took the stand in his own defense.
Because that's total speculation. If I were him, I would have been like, yeah, when I walked, like, this place was gross and there was a bunch of bugs on the ground and I stepped down, I looked down and I go, oh God, I've killed them all. Like, tell me I didn't. You know, like that's all you have to do. Like, that's literally how simple reasonable doubt is. Like,
so during cross-examination, he admitted to writing the note. He admitted lying repeatedly in other investigations, and he acknowledged being present at Morris Black's death. No, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
Because he died afterwards.
No, the hearing was after all of that, though.
Oh, okay. That is correct. Okay. So then the verdict was on September 17th of 2021. I'm sure
they tried to say, like, and remember that time you killed your fucking neighbor? So you're a fucking killer, all right? And he was like, no. Listen, guns just go off.
Yep. The jury found Durst guilty of first-degree murder.
Oh, finally.
I know, right? With a special finding that it was lying in wait and use of a firearm. His sentence was life in prison without the possibility of parole. So that happened September of 21.
Okay.
Okay. So then another murder charge in 21, prosecutors stated they believed Kathy was killed January 31st of 1982, the last day that she was seen. Evidence suggested Durst fabricated the train story.
Okay.
Witnesses placed Kathy at the South Salem home that night.
I thought it was the 28th. It was the 23rd?
It was the 31st
The 31st.
of 82.
You just said that they said that he killed her on the 23rd?
On the 31st.
Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I misheard you. I was like, whoa, she
I
died
might
a
have
fucking
said
week
something.
before we thought? I thought she was at a dinner party. Okay, maybe okay. I don't know.
They believe Kathy was killed on January 31st, which is the date that
Right.
she was last seen.
Yes. Okay.
He had said he took her
To the train station for her to catch her class.
But witnesses placed Kathy at the South Salem home that night. So authorities alleged that her body was disposed of and has never been recovered. The indictment came nearly 40 years after her disappearance, but they did indict him after he was.
At that point, he's got a murder rap already. Like, oh yeah, and you killed that other chick, so it's well within your. Yes.
So, the grand jury indicted Durst for second-degree murder of Kathy Durst. He was charged in October of 21, so he was found guilty in September of Susan Berman's murder.
A month later.
A month later, he was charged with Kathy's case. Then, in January, so November, December, January, 3 months later of 2022, he died in the prison hospital of heart failure before his trial. So there was never a trial, so there's no verdict. So legally, he was never convicted in connection with Kathy's death. But he did plead not guilty before he died.
Of course.
So.
Guys, don't you know his fucking mom killed herself?
What a case, right?
That is just bizarre.
It's like stranger than fiction. I mean, it is bizarre.
I kind of get where he comes from when he's like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking move. I'm just going to up and move across the country. I'm just going to start fresh. I'm going to start over. He
As
got
a mute.
Little creative with the cross-dressing. And the mute was just kind of genius, honestly. What a way to keep a low profile, to have people think that you can't fucking talk. No one's going to want to be your friend. No one's going to, like... Not that mutes can't have friends, but if you already seem a little fucking off and you're being standing and you write a note that says like fuck off and they're like, okay, he's not.
Right.
What? Yeah, that is a fucking weird one.
I know, right? You got to watch the movie.
Yeah, that's just, I feel bad. Like I hope that the family was able to find some peace and find some closure without knowing where her remains were.
I know. I'm sure just the fact that he got charged before he died made them feel good. Like, ha, 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 finally, you didn't get away with nothing.
And then he dies before a trial, though. It still feels like, motherfucker, But
they didn't really have any evidence.
Yeah.
He might not have been convicted.
This is true.
Just the fact that
fucking charge
he
finally
got charged
came.
And then he died. Like,
yeah.
There you go. I'm sure that was a little consoling for the family.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention,
yes, they'd rather have her remains.
The whole motive for killing the other woman was Susan was tied into whatever happened to Kathy. So,
yeah.
It made for an interesting case.
Yeah.
Mr. I want to fucking represent myself and get on the stand. Yeah. What a weird one.
So, highly recommend you watch the movie and then watch the documentary of the Jinx, and you can hear him babbling to himself in the bathroom. And the guys he came out and they were like, we could hear everything you just said. And Durst was like, Oh, really?
That happens in The Mysterious Case of Natalia Grace. Is that her name?
Yes.
And oh boy, did that one make me sob. Just sob
Oh.
and sob and sob. Could not stop crying. That poor child. Oh, and that evil fucking cunt. The adoptive mom. Oh, I'd love to get my fucking hands on that bitch. But anyways, and you know what? On the husband too, dude, fuck him. On his
Oh,
little,
yeah.
you remember the beginning of this story when I told you about that guy who was like, "Oh, I diddled kids, but now I'm born again and I'm cool with Christ, so you should be cool with me." Yeah, I
Mhm.
feel like that was that dude. He was just like, you know what? If I get head of this and I come out and try to admit some faults and like blame her before she can blame me, I'll look like I'm okay. Dude, fuck that guy. I hope he falls down a flight of fucking stairs. Anyways, that's an entire, if you've never seen that, you've got to watch it. Is it on Netflix? The Curious Case of
I
Natalia
don't know if
Grace.
it's still on there, if they took it off.
You gotta watch it. It's fucking wild. That poor child. But anyways, the point was the guy that I'm talking about, the dad, the adoptive dad to this girl who was born with deformities and she needed all of this special care and help. And this wonderful family took her in to give her a wonderful forever home. And then they just did terrible fucking things. Well, her brother, who I think was theirs. I think that was their biological child.
They had a daughter. Are you sure it was a brother?
I thought it was a brother.
They had a daughter.
No, I thought it was a brother. It was a daughter?
Mhm.
I thought it was a boy for some reason. Are you sure? I thought it was a boy. I'm getting boy in my head. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong plenty. Whatever. There's another child,
They had a biological
child,
child.
and then
Yes.
they adopted this child, and then they had they adopted other children too. I think they adopted another girl. But their son was the biological one. Regardless, doesn't really matter. Anyways, the point of this is, like I said, the dad tries to get ahead of the story because the mom goes MIA and goes like, "I'm not gonna fucking talk to you," and like skips town. And the dad's got to be thinking, they approached me about like, well, Natalia's making this documentary and she's gonna be telling her side, and he's got to be thinking, fuck, fuck, fuck. I have committed crimes and been complacent in crimes. And he's got to be thinking, well, the mom is completely refusing to talk. So if I talk, I can get ahead of the story. I just think this guy's fucking cunning. I just think he's unredeemable. I just do.
I agree.
And here's another reason why. This is the main reason why. I might have bought the tears, and I might have bought that, like, I was being abused by my wife too. I might have bought it. He does the same shit where he goes off camera with the son and forgets that they have the hot mic on, and they're deciding what they're going to be forthcoming about and what all they're going to say and not say about like what's happened, because he did say some things that made him look like shit, and it made him look like I really am trying to like own this and take accountability, and I'm sorry. He's got the fucking hot mic in the other room, and they go like, he's like, "Okay, so we're not going to talk about the time that you threw her down the stairs." And the producers of the show are like,
Oh.
and they go, hey, and they're like, "Yeah," and they go, "Your mic's still on, just wanted to let you know," and like the fucking panic rushes over them when they're like, "Oh shit, shit, shit," and the whole fucking vibe changes. And that right there is when I was like, I hope you fall down a flight of fucking stairs and that it doesn't kill you. I hope it just breaks your neck and that's how you live as a fucking quadriplegic the rest of your life. And that
Right.
when you're in that position and you're vulnerable and you just need someone to help, they fucking terrorize you and make your life terrible. That's your karma for what you did to that child. Oh, I'm telling you, I sobbed. Sobbed. That is such a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. That fucking Karen ass haircut, having ass bitch. Don't get me started. Ooh. Natalia, you my girl. You poor thing. You just need a fucking hug. God. Anyways, so tired of people, dude. This guy with this fucking hot mic, this dickhole with his hot mic. Dudes be just forgetting they're wearing microphones. Who does that? I would do that. I have the attention span of a gnat.
Oh. Oh.
The good news is that I'm so fucking transparently honest about everything. I literally could just be mic'd all the time. I mic me up. Yeah, I said that. I'm about to fucking say it again too.
Yeah, that's you.
You want to know a good way to not have to worry about if you're mic'd or not? Don't commit crimes, asshole. What does Jim Carrey say in Liar Liar? Stop breaking the law, asshole. Oh, Lord.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Liar Liar.
Yeah,
I think it's that one.
that's a
Isn't
funny
that where he
movie.
says that? Because he can't like not say things that aren't true. Oh, and
Right.
he's a lawyer and he's supposed to be giving advice, and he's like, I've got some advice for you. Stop breaking the law. Oh, Lord.
Well, that's all I've got for you today. So
All
tune
right,
in next
guys.
time. I got another really good story coming. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
The
You don't want
twists
to
and
miss it.
turns. These are the days of our lives. All right, Mama.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.